Hello friends, and welcome to the second class of Wills of Exchange. And as we had discussed in the last class, today we are first going to do a couple of questions on calculation of maturity date, and then we'll move to the journal entries required in this chapter. So let's have a look at the couple of questions that we are going to do. The first question, it says date of bill 23rd October 2020, period of the bill given is 3 months. So let's calculate it. It is extremely simple. First thing what we do is let's write the date. 23rd of October 2020 is our date. And then what we have to do is very simply, we just have to add 3 months to it. Okay, we just have to add 3 months to this particular date, which simply means if you people just have a look at this very carefully, you would understand that October add 3 months, November, December, January. So what we get is 23rd of January 2021. All right, now we need to understand that this is just our due date, but I have already told you in accounts we are concerned with exactly maturity date. So here we have to add 3 days of grace. 3 days of grace are to be added. So to this let's add 3 days. Now when I am adding 3 days to 23rd of Jan, what exactly do we get? We get 26th of January 2021. Yes. However, now the maturity date of this particular bill is 25th of January 2021. Sir, how? You yourself calculated 26th and now you are writing your answer as 25th. Exactly. The reason for taking this example is to make you people learn something very important. There are 2 notes that we need to learn. The first note is if the maturity date is a known public holiday, in this case what happens? The previous working day becomes the maturity date. Now 26th of Jan, every Indian is aware, is a holiday. It's a known public holiday because it's our Republic Day. That is the reason why we took the earlier working day, assuming that 25th Jan 21 was a working day. All right. However, then there is a second note as well. If the maturity date is a suddenly declared holiday, in that case the next working day becomes the maturity date. Now these are the 2 things that you people just need to remember. Each one of you needs to remember this. If the maturity date as calculated is a known public holiday, in that case obviously the previous working day becomes our maturity date. But if maturity date is a suddenly declared bank holiday, then of course what happens is the next working day becomes the maturity date. Alright, I hope every one of you have got this very clear, understood this simple calculation in months. Now let's take this calculation in days. So here we have considered that 23rd of January 2021 is our date. And what we need is a period of 60 days. Simple. What we do is we keep on moving from the given date till the next day. Let's understand how. There are total 60 days that we need to move forward, starting from 23rd of January. So there are total 31 days in January, 23 gone. So we are left with 8 days of January. Alright, so when we leave this, what are we left with is we are now left with 52 days. Okay, after January, the next month is February 2021. So there are 28 days in February. Let's deduct that as well. Now what are we left with? We need to understand this, that if we remove it, we are left with 24 days. Okay, after February, the next month is March. March has total 31 days, but we can go ahead only for 24 days. So 24th March, this becomes our due date. To this, obviously we will add 3 days of grace. And now what we get is 27th March. (2021), and this becomes our maturity date. 27th March is our maturity date. That's it. We keep on moving forward from one period to another. Total 60 days we have moved ahead. Everyone, just have a look at this. Understand, it's very simple. Okay, so these are the two questions that we are supposed to discuss in today's class, and now we are going to move ahead with the journal entries. Let's have a look at our journal entries. When we talk about the journal entries, we will be doing it in the books of Drawee and in the books of Drawee. So let's start with the first one. It says for credit sales. Obviously, Drawee is the seller when he sells the goods. Drawee is the receiver. Sales is an income. So journal entry becomes Drawee's account debit to sales account. However, when a drawer sells, Drawee purchases. So in the books of Drawee, it would become for credit purchase. And the entry is simple: purchase account debit to drawer's account. Now I want you people to pay attention to this carefully. The entry that we pass in the books of Drawee, when it is reversed, it will become entry in the books of Drawee. You just have to reverse them. That is the first thing that I wanted you people to learn. Second thing which I want everyone to remember is that for a drawer, the document is a bill receivable, because a drawer is to receive money from that particular document. However, for a Drawee, the document is a bill payable, because for a Drawee he has to pay. Alright, now these are the two terms that everyone needs to remember. You people just need to remember it very carefully. For a drawer, the document is a bill receivable, and for a Drawee, the document is a bill payable. A bill receivable, he has to receive money, that becomes his asset. A bill payable, it's his responsibility to pay. So obviously that becomes a liability. Alright, so now let's move to the next entry. It says for receipt of bill receivable, simple logic. Bill comes in, it is to be debited. Drawee is the giver, is to be credited. Bills receivable account debit to Drawee's account. Just for the convenience, the bill receivable, I have used abbreviated term BR, and similarly for bills payable, the abbreviated term used is bills payables, abbreviated term is BP. Alright, now same thing again in the books of Drawee. For accepting the bill, entry is just reversed. Kindly pay attention to it. Drawer's account debit to bills payable. Alright, two standard basic common entries. Now what has happened? Drawer has received the bill. He has got four options. If you remember the last slide we did in the first class. However, these are the options available with the drawer. Drawee does not have any options available. Remember, Drawee is simply given away the bill. Now Drawee comes into play only at the time of the maturity date. Alright, so if drawer decides to retain the bill with him, keep the bill with him, there is no journal entry for keeping the bill. However, yes, he can go for another option. He would prefer to get the bill discounted with his bank. If it discounts the bill, think what happens. Money comes in, bank account debit, discount, which is simply an interest, which is actually the loss of the drawer. Therefore, it is debited and the bill is going out. So the journal entry becomes bank account debit, discount account debit to bills receivable. Alright. Now, if the drawer endorses the bill to his creditor, in that case, the journal entry becomes endorsee's account debit to bills receivable. Now, endorsee is the person to whom the drawer is giving the bill. Alright. And let's look at the last option. If the bill is sent to bank for collection. Now what happens? Bank for collection is the receiver and the bill is going out. Simple journal entry. Debit the receiver, credit what goes out. Bank for collection account debit to bills receivable account. Now these are the 4 entries. Please remember, in a given question for one single bill, only one of the 4 is possible. With one bill, only one of the 4 is possible. All 4 cannot happen with a given bill. Alright. So these are the entries that a drawer can do with a bill. Now moving forward. On the due date, as we had discussed in the earlier class, on the due date, there are 2 possible chances. What are they? A bill is honored. Drawee says, yes, give my bill, take your money. However, there is a second possibility. The bill is dishonored. Drawee says, sorry my dear friend, I don't have money to pay you. So these are 2 possible options. Let's look at the first option. What would happen if the bill is honored? 4 options. Yes, obviously, bill is retained and honored. Money comes in, bill goes out. Bank account debit to bills receivable account. Alright. Now, second option is if the bill is discounted and honored. Now, this is what I want you people to understand. Think what will happen on the due date, that's on the maturity date. Bank will go to the drawee. Bank will give bill to the drawee and drawee will give money to the bank. Is drawer anywhere involved? No. When drawer is not involved, obviously no entry. There is no journal entry that we will be passing in the books of drawer if the bill is discounted and honored. And exactly same explanation for the bill endorsed and honored, because that becomes the transaction between the endorsee and the drawee. Drawer is not at all involved. Alright. Now, if the bill is sent to bank for collection and honored, we receive money and this time who gives us? Bank for collection. So the journal entry would be bank account debit to bank for collection account. Okay. Now, in the books of drawer, because there were 4 possible treatments, any one of these 4 entries will come. That's okay. However, for a drawee, simple transaction. Bill comes in, money goes out. So a simple journal entry, bank account debit, bills payable account debit to bank account. That's it. Alright. Now, these are the entries when the bill is honored. Now, what happens if the bill is dishonored? Again, 4 possible chances. Simply, you people need to remember one thing. If a bill is dishonored, see, drawer is not going to keep the bill with him. Ultimately, drawer will give the bill back to the drawee. Which means, in every case, if you pay attention, drawee will be the receiver of the bill. Drawee's account is to be debited. Simple. Why like this? Let's understand. When you received the bill, okay, when you actually received the bill, you have credited drawee. Now, the bill is getting dishonored. So what you do is you debit drawee. Any case, irrespective of what is the case. Retained, discounted, endorsed, sent to bank, whatever. drawee account is to be debited because he will receive the bill. Credit, whatever is done with the bill. If the bill is retained, bill goes out, so to bills receivable account. If the bill is discounted, bank is the giver, so to bank account. If the bill is endorsed, endorsee is the giver, so to endorsee account. And similarly, if the bill is sent to bank for collection, then bank for collection account will be credited. Simple. This is absolute common sense. If a bill is dishonored, drawee account is to be debited, credit whatever was done with the bill. Now these are the 4 options in the books of drawer. But when we talk about drawee, there is only one entry. Bill comes in, and to the drawee, it is always the drawer who will give. So it is bills payable account debit to drawer's account. In fact, if you look at this entry, it is exactly the reverse of this particular entry. When he accepts the bill, he says drawer to bills payable. Similarly, when the bill is dishonored, obviously it's just the reverse entry. Bills payable account debit to drawer's account. Okay, I hope we have all understood these entries. Basic, simple entries done. Now let's move to a little more complex situations. And this is one of the important situation. If the bill is renewed. Now, this is exactly you people need to remember. I want everyone to feed this in your mind deeply. The moment you read the word renewed, renewal, your mind should immediately say 3 entries. First, entry for dishonor of the bill. Second, entry for interest. And the third, entry for new bill and cash received. Always remember, the moment you read the bill is renewed or renewal of the bill, your mind should immediately say 3 entries. First, I have to dishonor the old bill. Then I have to charge interest for renewal of the bill. And third, for new bill and if there is any cash received. Alright, so in the books of drawer, obviously, first you pass the journal entry. For renewal, it can be any one. Dishonor, it can be any one of the 4 entries that we have learned. Next is interest. Remember guys, drawer is charging interest. For him, this interest is an income. And always incomes are to be credited. And he is to receive it from drawee. And therefore, the journal entry becomes drawee's account debit to interest account. Okay. And then the simple entry. Now he is receiving a new bill. Again, just entry number 2. Bill receivable account debit to drawee's account. Sometimes, along with the new bill, drawee might give a part of the payment in cash. So the whole entry becomes bills receivable account debit, cash account debit to drawee's account. Now, these are the entries in the books of drawer. When we go to the books of drawee, guys, every entry, just reverse them. This is just exactly the same entry of dishonor. Here you can see the same entry for dishonor, bills payable to drawee. Interest, it will become interest to drawers. It is exactly the reverse entry. And same is the case for new bill and cash. Okay, sorry, it's not cash received, it's cash paid. Same entry. Drawer is the receiver to bills payable to cash because it goes out. Alright, so these are the 3 entries that we do for renewal of the bill. After this, the last part, if the bill is retired. First and foremost thing, I want you people to remember, what do you understand by the term retired? Bill retired means drawee honors the bill before the due date. Alright, now if drawee says, my dear friend Mr. Drawer, when I am paying you money in advance, obviously you should give me some discount. Drawer also thinks, okay, I am receiving money in advance, I have no problem in giving discount. So he gives a discount, and such a discount is called as a rebate. Such discount given by the drawer to the drawee on renewal of the bill is called rebate. Alright, now what happens is, You people just need to remember that for a drawer, it's a discount allowed, expense debit. For a drawee, it's a discount received, income credit. So in the books of drawer, bank account debit, rebate account debit, to bills receivable account. Similarly, in the books of drawee, exactly the reverse entry. Bills payable account debit to bank account to rebate account. That's it. Right? So these are the journal entries, friends, that we have learned today. And now we are through with the theoretical understanding of this chapter. So in the next class, we will start with some numerical questions on bills of exchange. All right. So till then, thank you guys. Take care.